As kids, every chance I got, I'd go to the ocean. We used to drop a chicken leg in the water with a string attached to it and pull it up slowly. There'd be 5 crabs just holding on to it. Scoop them up, throw them in the pot, throw the football around. That was living. But sunsets like this just made me not want to leave. I knew that I was going to stay in California forever. I try to just accumulate as many great finds as I can, and I'll store them and just wait for the right moment. But everything in here, this whole area is just really like a candy store. There's so many wonderful finds that just can't, look at that. It's wonderful. I have clients in mind when I'm shopping. So I've got clients that have been with me for years, understand their style and what they like. So if I find something, I know that they'd love it. I'll just go ahead and buy it, make it. So this cotton velvet is a short nap. So it's not going to bruise very easily. Sometimes you'll get a jacket, a velvet jacket that might print on itself if you press down on it. But this is a very good nap, and this is a great find. This is a great piece here. And this will make a wonderful jacket, sport coat. You become close with your clients because after all, it's very personal. Clothes are very personal to someone, right? So you're going to build a garment, you're going to put their name inside the garment, you're going to measure them, you're going to talk about what their needs are, and it's very personal. They get really deep into how they want to be perceived in the boardroom or on stage. And then once you nail it, they're friends forever. So I got a chance to meet Dion Lattimore, and his company was called Dion Scott. He said, hey, why don't you come with us to Las Vegas? We're gonna go see Mike Tyson. And this was in Mike Tyson's heyday. He was the champion, world champion. Don King was there, and we're laying down swatches of fabrics, and there was no doubt about it. A light bulb went off in my head. I said, this is it. This is it. The first day I went into business. That means I had my, my business license from the city of Los Angeles, and opened up my door. I plugged in my phone. I remember I had a fax machine and my phone on one desk in the middle of the room, nothing else, and the phone rings, and it was P. Diddy. The shoulder pads were larger, the jackets were bigger, and it was a big time in hip-hop history, kind of creating a trend, so to speak. They were all white suits. We also did a gold suit. He was dancing with Jennifer Lopez in one of the scenes. To step in and use some creative juices to come up with some unique looks was just the most exciting thing I could ever imagine. But I remember taking a look at the profit on the table and just kind of gazing at it like, wow, I'm officially in business. Under the tutelage of Dion, really got a chance to understand the manufacturing process and what goes into a garment. If it's a large guy with wide shoulders, you may want to go a little larger on the lapel. If it's a smaller guy, you want to go narrow on the lapel. Guy with a stomach, you want to increase the drop lower. So it was like architecture on a man's body, or a woman's body for that matter. Everyone's experience for the most part is buying off the rack. So you buy off the rack, you put it on, it fits good enough, right? And you feel good about it and you go out. But those that know bespoke, I can walk into a room of 100 well-dressed men or women and find the ones that understand and are wearing bespoke garments because the quality, the fit, the functionality of the buttonholes, the pick stitching. And if you take that as a standard of success, then I can walk over and shake the hands of those most successful people in the room. So that's what I was able to do, is really discern what's going to be the best case scenario for each client. So I'm at a Grammys after party, and I see this big buff guy walking through the lobby. He kind of had this, from a tailoring standpoint, the palms of his hands face outwards, his shoulders roll forward. His chest is basically hollow, but there's so much muscle here. Because I knew that guy could not buy anything off the rack. So I approached him, told him who I was, and what I did. He's kind of stared. First of all, he was surprised. I think he was shocked that I would just step to him and, get in his space.
But every motherfucker who was up there who didn't participate to handle that shit is a punk ass bitch.
And I didn't know who Suge Knight was. I had no idea he had this, aura of gangster. And maybe I wouldn't have talked to him if I did know that. I don't know. But he said, come by my office tomorrow. So I get there to his office. I'm a little nervous at this point because everybody in the office is nervous. I don't know why they're nervous. We sat down, pull out the swatches, tell him about what I want to do. So I have sketches and drawings of looks for Suge. He said, I want that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. He picked them all out. He picked out $50,000. I hadn't sold a $50,000 package at that time. And so he bought the package. So I knew that if I screw this up, I'm dead, right? I build the garments for the Soul Train Music Awards. I'm backstage and I see Suge show up without the garments on. So I'm freaking out. I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm dead. I told my buddy, I'm dead. He doesn't, what could have gone wrong? And, I kind of avoided him. He and Tupac, they were kind of in fatigues. It was all a part of that East Coast, West Coast thing in case they had the fight. I didn't know what was going on at the time. I just know he wasn't in my garments. The next day I wake up, crickets. Don't hear anything. Call his office. He's not in. I left a message. Crickets for 2 days. There is a grand opening of a mall in Crenshaw, and in comes Suge Knight. And I'm looking at him, and he looks at me, and he walks straight over to me and hugs me and says, can't nobody fuck with you! Can't nobody fuck with you! And he just starts hugging me in the middle of this mall, and I'm like, what does that mean? I'm like terrified. Like he said, the garments, I want more. Come by my office tomorrow. I want more. And he ordered another $50,000 worth of clothes. So that's my legacy with Suge. And then he also hooked me up with Tupac's, Snoop Dogg, Nate Dogg. Everybody at Death Row was wearing Woody Wilson. And the rest is history.
It's like, one of those stories.
She's probably doing something else like she is now. Why don't you tell her? I've already said my story.
Okay, well.
Listen closely, children.
I went to see a designer in the same building that your dad worked in, and to borrow a dress for an award show.
And kind of looked at her and was stuck for a second and felt like it was a magical moment.
We met in the hallway, and I was like, wow, who's this tall, really good-looking guy with curls and nice full lips? I was like, he's a good-looking guy.
Daddy. And this voice says to me, that's your wife.
Like, come in, let's talk. And he asked me out. He was like, looking through his calendar.
I'm busy, dude.
He's like, I can see you maybe in 3 weeks. I was like, who is this fool? Who is this fool?
We had in-laws here, and I explained to them what I was doing, working on New Edition, Lifetime Achievement Award, and trying to do fittings, and seeing Bobby Brown, who's on this side of town, and Johnny Gill on that side of town. The day of, I'm behind stage with my seamstress, making alterations 5 seconds before they go on stage. I jumped in the car before the show was even over and got home right before they broadcast it at home. So I'm sitting on the couch watching for the first time. And I said, that's what I do. That's what Daddy's been doing. The in-laws were more impressed than the family. They're like, good night, but it was a good time.